handle.
You want answers.
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
So he says, I was going to use my belt as a tourniquet, but as soon as I was about to do that, hopefully, I'm assuming, right, that he pulled his belt off.
I remembered I didn't have a belt. Is that what he's going to say?
Yeah.
Is that his next statement?
I heard something from behind me, and it was the police kicking in doors in the 300 hallway.
Kicking in doors in the 300 hallway. What the heck you want to kick in? What do they need to kick in doors on the 300 hallway for?
I don't know. What's going on in the 300 hallway?
We haven't heard anything about 300 hallway. That's a weird statement.
This dude has no idea. So anyway,
he says, they didn't get their story straight at all.
No. No.
You know what? I'm thinking the same guy that might have orchestrated this whole thing might be the same guy that's got the Sharpie that misses the letters on all the sworn statements. Because it doesn't, whoever orchestrated this and said, okay, guys, I'm thinking of like Ocean's 11 or something, and they're all in this room with a whiteboard.
Yeah.
And the guy, and everything's, and he keeps saying, guys, get it together. Okay.
Right.
You did not see anything in the 300 floor.
Right.
Okay. My God, stop it.
Here's the challenge. Here's what I see. Every time I read this is what I look at. Let's take that. You're in the whiteboard room.
Yes.
Putting all this stuff together, right? But the problem is the people you hire have to have some issues, right?
Right.
Or else they're not kind of recruitable, right? So you're recruiting people that are smart enough but not too smart, right?
Well, I know the job market's at an all-time high and you have trouble finding people.
Sure.
But you got to have somebody that retains enough.
I'm going to tell you what they should do is they should look out in the trash can for a whiteboard, because whoever planned this did the whole planning and they go, that's permanent marker. That's permanent marker.
I better use a Sharpie.
2 hours of planning. I just put it.
Oh no. I just used a Sharpie. Why? Why me?
Why?
Because whoever's in charge of this is, I cannot even believe this, man. This is some crazy stuff.
Oh,
and I bet you that Sharpie's got fingerprints on it. If they
Sharpie
could find that Sharpie.
That's right.
And the eraser that he tried to erase it with, we'd have the culprit.
I want to see the video in the Mandalay Bay of anyone carrying a whiteboard out to the trash can.
Yes. That weekend. It was anybody carrying a whiteboard.
Oh
God.
Okay.
This thing is this thing gets crazier every time I hear this.
So these two guys were recruited for a reason.
Yes.
We're seeing the reason, and it's
the one thing they did get in common was they always use at this moment in time.
At this moment in time. Right.
They use, both of them use this same phrase.
Right.
And it's almost used in the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like during an event, and at this moment of time, I thought, it mirrors.
Well, yeah, you could literally, and I haven't done this, but you could literally take every time they say at this moment of time and probably line their statements up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I truly believe that these two guys, they had pages and pages, right? And it's way too much. And the wind blew, and all the pages went into the floor, and they were like,
yeah.
Oh, shit. Hey, here. Oh, I got the wrong one. Here, you.
You know why? Because the leader didn't have it in a 3-ring binder. Okay? It was just a stack of papers he was bringing to the whiteboard conference.
Yes, absolutely.
Jeez.
All right.
Dumbasses.
Oh,
God. I mean, and the biggest thing here, I mean, seriously, man,
yep,
the biggest
elephant
thing,
in the room.
that is the elephant in the room, but the biggest thing is all these victims, man.
Right.
And this investigation is done this poorly.
God, yeah.
You know, I was thinking at the beginning of us doing this whole thing, I was like, oh man, this is kind of a waste of time. You know, it's, you know, you talk to other people and they're like, oh yeah, no, it's, you know, they got the guy and this, that, and the other. I said, but you know, when you start looking through this stuff, sentence by sentence, you wonder, how high did this go and what was the actual motive? Because we're dealing with really bottom of the barrel people that they evidently somebody hired, is my opinion. Now,
yeah,
I'm not saying that's what it was, but it just seems as though. But it's just too sad. It's a sad thing when you have that many people out there watching the concert that are affected by this, and you have kindergarten grade investigations going on,
right?
And you have a few guys that are up there like Sottile that is right on target, and some of those officers up there, and you have something mixed in there that shouldn't be there. And so go ahead, man, because it just drives me crazy. I mean, we have fun with this, but it's terrible.
Yeah,
you know, it's
it's sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's horrible, man.
He says, so Shuck says, so me and my supervisor, who was up there, which is Shannon Alsbury, yelled at them like, hey, yell at the cops down 300 hallway. Hey, he's in this hallway. He's at the end of this hallway, the 100 hallway, end quote.
With the GSW? I don't know. I don't know if it's a pellet or a 22 or we have access to this room.
The room's at the end of the hallway, and apparently, from what he was saying, they put a bracket up on the stairwell door.
Copy, no, it's definitely on 100, on 32.
And it's you go down all the way to the last one, double doors.
The direction of shooting is probably the people, so look out for that.
Is he shooting down this way?
He was. That's how I got that.
It's gonna be on the wrong, Hey Zeus, yeah, just passenger elevators, we can stop the.
What room is the number?
135.
On the very end. The double doors on the very end.
3. I know, I still want to. Go ahead. Come here. Copy. That's how I see it. He's not. Huh? You have a UTF. No, UTF. Probably the barrel. I don't know if it's a 22 or a pellet. We know. Yeah. Oh, I got it. Just go down the basement, every fire piece, and then surround those elevators, turn the wall.
And the crystal room. Come on. Is he okay?
Go.
Radio.
Tell them thank you, but right now we've got 2 ships out. We should be going okay for now. We haven't done ice on
You're gonna be dead over here from this way. Line the corner this way.
Oh,
Elevator. You're gonna have a dead spot with the radio. Just go around the corner.
159? 135.
Is there any way else to get in there besides down this hallway?
Say what?
Is there any other way to get down there to it?
There's a stairwell on every single floor, but they've got it bracketed off.
What kind of?
Say again, Jesus? Hey, listen.
Downstairs, it has to do with the elevator. They're screaming.
We're at 2 bedroom up here.
That's some crazy guy in the basement. People down there.
Go in your room.
Go in your room. You might want to move on down here. You get officers down the basement, there's some nutty guy got no shirt on. By the kitchen shop. Brian, no traffic unless it's involving this stuff.
Come on.
Copy.
Bam, get in the room.
159 S. I need the radio, please. I'm on the 32nd floor. The room is going to be 135, right?
Currently center floor, each floor, somebody with a t-shirt, that's in a rabbit. I don't know who
Hey, stay with me.
it
I'm trying to get on the radio. The room is barricaded. We can't get in. I'm trying to get on the radio. Room 159.
Shoot, we gotta go.
No. We can't get in. Listen, it's barricaded. Stop.
Yeah, barricaded, most likely, we'll be dropped. Okay. We're not gonna make it.
Where are they hearing it from? It sounded like there were 2 shooters. We were at the event. You were at there. There's 2 shooters.
I saw gunshot fire coming out of this room. They're shooting outside. They're shooting out. During the way.
There's people been shots coming out this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 32nd.
There's room 135 on the 32nd floor. I need the SWAT to respond to this floor. Subject to Sheriff. We cannot make it.
This is 32, right?
Yeah. He's tomorrow now. We're gonna need it bad.
That is the format on it. Your mic.
Yeah, they come out with a
Don't hit the floor. We cannot advance to how close on?
I got on. Get off the wall. Get off the wall. Too.
How close up do you want to advance? I'm here.
I need you to go to the elevator. The 32nd floor elevator.
That one?
There's one of your security guards.
Oh, Bill. I understand that you want to advance it.
182 SE. God damn it.
29? There's shots on 29?
29?
We need you to watch our back.
What's that concerned about?
We need someone to watch this. Someone to watch
Those
this.
are locked down.
Okay,
Those are gonna be all right.
hold on, I'm gonna update them in a second.
If you can already, I know.
No, room, yeah.
We got a key to that?
You guys have keys to this?
That's not a suite, that's a
Right here.
non-used elevator bank.
182 SE. We have a security officer also shot the rope on this 32nd floor. He's standing by the elevators. And we got 4 of us here.
4.
Do they know we have 4 up here?
I told them we had 4 on the radio. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know if they heard anything, but.
Who's this? Who's that? Okay. We're Metro, come on. 182 SE, we might need to split these channels. We're gonna need a dedicated one for this 32nd floor, I think. He shot down the hallway and hit a security person. And we have a 4-man team up here, and we have another element coming to us. So we're gonna have a light on the 32nd floor. We will need the 29th floor It sounds like it's confirmed there are at least 2 shooters with fully automatic weapons. Here it is. Oh, I'm there! Is that him? Go in the room. Go back in the room. Get out of the fucking hallway now! Get out of the hallway! Get out of the goddamn hallway! Hold on, he doesn't. Hold on. Cover him. Cover him. Cover him.
Hey, head the hall, straight down.
I said, who's the supervisor? Get back here now. Get back here. Get back here. Walk with us. Come back. Run, sir, run. Come on, run. Come on, man. Walk. Go. Up that hallway. How many guys on that hallway? Come here. Come on. Keep him blinded. Let's go. Let's go.
Clear to the end.
We got to clear all these rooms before we do. We can't go up until we clear all the rooms.
You got a mask?
Who's got a mask? You need someone in that?
Now. You got one right here.
Search your left, your left, your left.
No, master key. Master key. He has master keys.
Let's search it. Come on, let's go.
I got a master key.
So if he comes out, I'm just gonna
Hey, we got keys right here. We got keys.
I
got keys.
So you're gonna be our
Yes.
The blue pack. He's got keys. He's gonna be the blue thing. So we're gonna move up to okay, hold on. Hey, wait. Steve, wait. We're gonna come down the hallway, arms up. Take a breath. Okay.
Yeah, I had to do the same.
Which room we come out of? What do we got? All right, we got 2 shots on foot right here.
Sling or shotgun? You got enough weapons?
No, we're gonna focus on make sure he's shotgun. Okay, listen up. We're gonna need you back here. If you come back, come on. That's you and I move up to the next thing. All right, you ready? Let's go.
And by that time, the fire, the shots had stopped, and my supervisor, Shannon Alsbury, and you can see the A.
Right. He kept the Sharpie. Go ahead.
Well, it's funny because my supervisor, Shannon Alsbury, he handed me his master keys. And he said, I need you to go down to the lower level, the lowest level, shut off all the guest elevators so no one can come up here, end quote. So I took the guest elevator down and started to shut them down. And that's when I met another engineer, basically down there. His name is Blank. Now, I don't know who that is, but isn't that an interesting statement?
Yeah.
Why is
He
that?
handed him why? Because he told us right at the beginning that he had master keys.
Absolutely.
Why does he need his master keys? He has master keys. Story, man. You're right. It's incriminating. We may have to do where are they now?
Well, here's the
after this whole thing's done.
No, right. Well, and we have the video of Shannon Alsbury's master keys. He had them on in the center core.
Well, yeah. Well, was he one of those that were opening the doors for the evacuation, or was it it's probably Sottile, wasn't it? Sottile and some of those guys. Alsbury, I believe, gave his keys to the cops to open the doors and do the
Okay,
that's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With the GSW? I don't know. I don't know if it's a pellet or a 22 or
We have access to this room.
The room's at the end of the hallway, and apparently, from what he was saying, they put a bracket up on the stairwell door.
Copy, no, it's on 100, on 32.
And it's you go down all the way to the last room, double doors.
the direction of shooting is probably the people, so look out for that.
Is he shooting on his way?
He was, that's how I got that.
gonna be there. Gonna be on the wrong,
Hey Zeus, yeah, just, passenger elevators, we can stop the.
What room is the number?
135.
On the very end, the double doors on the very end.
Straight in.
I know, I still want to.
Go ahead. Copy.
That's how I see it, but he's not. Huh? You have a, or UTF. No, probably the barrel. My bad, I don't know if it's a 22 or a valid.
We know.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this. Go down the basement, every fire feature, then surround those elevators, turn them all off.
And the crystal room. Come on, is he okay?
Go.
Radio.
Tell them thank you, but right now we've got 2 ships out, we should be going okay for now, we haven't done ice on You're gonna be dead over here from this way. Line corner this way.
Oh,
Elevator, you're gonna have a dead spot with the radio, just go around the corner.
159?
135.
Is there any way else to get in there besides down this hallway?
Say what?
Is there any other way to get down there to it?
There's a stairwell on every single floor, but they've got it bracketed off.
What kind of?
Say again, Jesus? Hey, listen.
Downstairs, it has to do with the elevators. They're screaming.
We're at 2 bedroom up here. That's some crazy guy in the basement. People down there. Go in your room. Go in your room. You may want to move on down here. You get officers down the basement, there's some nutty guy there with no shirt on. The kids are shut. Brian, no traffic unless it's involving this stuff.
Come on.
Copy. Bam, get in the room.
159, yes, I need the radio, please. I'm on the 32nd floor. The room is gonna be 135, right?
Currently center core, each phone is somebody with a t-shirt that's in a rabbit. I don't know the person.
No. Hey, stay with me. I'm trying to get on the radio. The room has been barricaded. We can't get in. I'm trying to get on the radio. Room 160.
He's still shooting, we gotta go.
No. We can't get in. Listen, it's been barricaded. Stop.
You guys barricaded, most likely, we'll be dropped. Okay. We're not gonna make it.
What are they hearing from you? It sounded like there were 2 shooters. We were at the event. You were out there. There's 2 shooters.
I saw gunshot fire coming out of this room.
They're shooting outside, and they're shooting out.
There's been open shots come down this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 32nd.
Room 135 on the 32nd floor. I need the SWAT to respond to this floor. Subject to Jerry. We cannot make entry.
And this is 32, right?
He's more up there now. We're gonna be sad.
That is the format on it. Your Bible. Don't have the floor. You cannot advance the how close on?
I got full on too.
How close up do you want to advance? Because I'm hearing.
I need you to go to the elevator. The 32nd floor elevator.
That one?
There's one of your security guards.
Call Bill. Right here. Yes, I understand that you want to advance it.
182 SE. God damn it.
29?
There's shots on 29.
29? We need you to watch our back.
What's that?
We need someone to watch this. Someone to watch this.
Those are locked down.
Okay,
Nobody's coming up here.
hold on, I'm gonna update them in a second.
If you can already.
No, room, yeah, just wait.
We got a key to that?
You guys have keys to this?
That's not a suite, that's a
Right here.
non-used elevator bank.
182 SE. We have a security officer also shot the road on this 32nd floor. He's standing by the elevators. And we got 4 of us here. Do they know we have 4 up here?
I told them we had 4 on the radio. Who knows if they were-
Yeah, I don't know if they heard anything, but
Who's this? Who's that? Okay. What Metro, come on. 182 SE, we might need to split these channels. We're gonna need a dedicated one for this 32nd floor, I think. He shot down the hallway and hit a security guard. And we have a 4-man team up here, and we have another element coming to us. So we're gonna have a electric on the 32nd floor. We will need the 29th floor. It sounds like it's confirmed there are at least 2 shooters with fully automatic weapons. Here he is. Hey, I'm there! Is that him? Go in the room. Go back in the room. Get out of the fucking hallway now! Get out of the hallway! Get out of the goddamn hallway! Hold on, he doesn't. Hold on. Cover him. Cover him. Cover him.
right, in the hall, straight down.
I said, who's the supervisor? Get back here now. Get back here. Get back here. Walk with us. Come back.
Run, sir, run! Come on, run!
Come on, man. Come on. Go. Up that hallway. How many guys on that hallway? Come here. Come on. Keep him quiet. Let's go. Let's go.
Clear to the end.
We got to clear all these rooms before we do. We can't go up until we clear all the
Hey, you got a mask?
Who's got a mask? You need someone with a mask?
Now, you got one right here.
Search to your left, to your left.
No, master key. Master key has master keys.
Let's search it. This way. Come on, hey, let's go. Search it.
I got a master key.
So if he comes out, I'm just.
Hey, we got keys right here. We got keys.
I
got keys.
So you're gonna be our.
Yeah.
The blue path. He's got keys, he's gonna be the blue thing. So we're gonna move up to. Okay, hold on. Hey, wait. See, wait.
We're gonna come down the hallway, arms up, take a breath.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to do the same.
Which room we come out? What do we got? Alright, we got 2 shots on foot right here.
Sling your shotgun. You got enough rifles.
No, we're gonna focus on make sure you get shot down. Hey, listen up. We're gonna need you back here. If you come out, come on. Let's you and I move up to the next thing. Alright, ready?
There you go.
I mean, it's a lie right there. I mean, I don't get it, right? So
Yeah.
that's a complete lie. That I'm telling you, as we go through here, you're going to be shocked at the follow-up questions. You got to stay with this, okay? Because it still gets better.
Really?
Yeah.
It's getting pretty good.
All right, so he says, I met another engineer. His name is blank. I don't know what it is. And he was on the basement level. Okay, so I'm assuming Shuck went to the basement level. He helped me shut those elevators down.
Personnel, personnel, to gate 2B, or no, sorry, gate 4A and gate 5.
That's fine. We got gate, we have them
He's
trapped on 30. We don't know for sure.
So we were pinned
down for a minute and we could see him. You want me to go with you or do you want me to see him? Take one off. With you, and then stay here at the elevators to direct people. These are all locked out. 28, and get it out on the radio for us. 590K. Okay. None of these elevators will work. Okay.
We can't go that 128. Working our way up. He's going to start getting
any more shot fire from them? I didn't hear any. Shot 9. Okay, so 2 teams. Matchco, you take one. I'll take the other. You got it? Here's the deal. Front of the elevator with Matchco. Back the elevator with me. Okay. I have a right now.
At the Boulevard in Tropicana on the southwest corner.
No. You 4 in the front or with Matchco?
I'm going to meet
us in the back.
Just north of the next.
Yeah,
got an officer with a gunshot with the next.
Where's my force?
Okay,
We gotta get to the. Let's get.
Blank, don't know who that is, called me over the radio. Quote, you need to get back up here. I'm assuming that's Shannon, but who knows? You need to get back up here. The police need my keys. Unquote.
Okay.
So the 2 engineers, maybe?
Right.
I didn't know there were 2 engineers. Okay, so this is a 3rd engineer, actually, right?
Right.
So we went to the 200 wing service elevators and went to 32. Blank, don't know who that is, said, it must have been Shannon, said, quote, come out. When you come out, walk down the hall with your hands up. End quote.
What?
Blank, who I'm assuming is the other engineer, stayed in those elevators, and I came out with my hands up and waited for them to call me down and walk back towards the center core. Okay? Now, that service elevator in 200's all the way down. Dude. You can't even see. Nobody could even see the cart that far down, right? I mean, it's a long way down there.
Well, no one has ever seen the cart in the 100th floor, okay?
No.
No one. Nobody.
So he says, by this time, some guests had come out of their room. We were trying to keep the guests in the rooms so they wouldn't go and get shot in the hallway, you know. Yeah. We didn't know if there's other shooters or whatnot. He says, and yeah, there was a gentleman in handcuffs on the floor, and he didn't speak English. Now, remember that video? Remember, there was a guy who walked out of the 100 hallway, blue pants, white shirt, looked Asian, and they arrested him and put handcuffs on him right then and there. And we have never heard anything about that guy.
Now, you got one right here. Search your left, your left, your left. No, Master Keys. Master Keys has Master Keys. What? Search it.
I got a master key.
So if he comes out, I'm just gonna
Hey, we got keys right here. We got keys. I got keys.
So you're gonna be able to the blue pack. He's got keys. He's gonna be able to the blue thing. So we're gonna move up there. Okay, hold on. Hey, wait. Steve, wait. We're gonna come down the hallway, arms up. Take a breath. Okay.
Yeah. I had to do the same.
Which one we come out of? What do we got? All right, we got 2 shots in play right here.
Sling or shotgun? You got enough weapons?
No, we're not looking to make sure he gets shot down. Listen up. We're gonna need you back here. If you come back, we'll definitely. Come on. That's you and I move up to the next thing. All right, you ready? Let's go.
No. Forgot all about him.
Yeah, exactly. So Shuck actually, he says, I think he spoke Japanese.
Huh.
So it's the same person. Okay? The assumption is it's the same person. So he has that guy in his sworn statement. And we have no idea whatever happened to that guy.
That's weird.
Oh, yeah.
What room did he come out of? Do we know?
Nobody knows.
We need to get that video. Show that video when you do this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Shuck's a talker. So Lucky Shuck talks a lot.
Yeah.
With no follow-up here. So that's what it sounded like anyway. He spoke Japanese. So they were, security was trying to get everybody's information, but it was so hectic. I believe it was the sergeant that came and said, quote, we need to get those guests, in the elevator, the guest elevator room. Whatever that means. But all those elevators were shut off, obviously, because he shut them off.
Right.
Supposedly. So we sent them down the 200 wing. So what he's saying is all these guests was going down the 200.
Right.
There was a security guard there, and blank, I'm not sure who that is, the engineer was there, which is probably he's the third engineer guy, right?
Right.
And I haven't seen a sworn statement by a third engineer. I didn't even know until I read this that there was a third engineer.
Right.
All right, so he says, and we were sending people down. I remember a woman ran out. SWAT sniper was behind her. He said, no, I'm sorry. This was after they breached. He says, I haven't gotten there yet. Sorry. We're making people stay in the room. So he goes back, right? I mean, he's...
Right, backtracking.
Yeah. So he says, and then it was about 20 minutes from that time, which is approximately, he says, I don't know. I know you guys have, the time. He said, whatever it is. One of the officers asked me, can you get the information for the person in room 32135? He says, so I called over my radio. Base, I need the name and information on 32135. I haven't heard that one before. She called it over, which had to have been Lily. She's the only female in there. I mean, there was a second one, but she is, I'm assuming that's her. Security Lily. I mean, she seemed to do a pretty good job keeping track of everything and not getting all crazy. But so he says, I heard Stephen. So she said something to him. He hears the word Stephen. He says, I thought she was saying my name at the time. It was so loud in the hallway with guests and everything. And what they'll normally do is say the name and then spell the last name out. I didn't catch the last name, but another security guard was writing the information down. I believe that she said he checked. I don't know. I believe he said he checked in because, the sworn statement here is kind of crazy. I believe she said he checked in on, because they'll say when they checked in and when they leave. He checked in on the 25th. He's leaving on the 2nd. So I said, okay. I made sure the other security guard walked back to where he was. He was in the 200 wing. I saw that he had written the information down. And then he gave it to the police. I don't know. That's weird. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But I have to go back and look at our videos because
He's trying to think about stuff
yeah.
in order.
Oh yeah. So the cop says, "Take your time. You're doing great." Shuck says, "Well, thank you."
Oh, well, thank you. Sure, no problem. Would you like a coffee?
Right.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!